Yes, people. It's never a foul. You know what it is all the time. Like the video. Welcome here. Welcome Mo. Welcome Daps. Because today we're going to be talking about a few things along the line. But before we do any of that, just a little rush. Just want to get through it because you know what it is. We'll end up talking about this probably for the next hour and a half if we don't cut the formalities a little bit short.
What? Mo, talking about what?
Like the way we just go off and talk about something for the next 15 minutes that's completely irrelevant to the actual topic itself. Like life. What are you saying, Mo, man? How's your holiday at the moment?
I love the way you say Mo, man, by the way.
Oh, I didn't even mean that.
Yeah.
What are you saying,
good,
Mo,
it's
man?
good. Went to the beach twice, had seafood dinner. It was very good.
Oh.
And steak, seafood and steak.
Ah, okay. You revived it a little bit.
Yeah, drinking wine all day. And mosquitoes everywhere, of course.
What kind of wine? The halal version, I hope.
Of course. What do you think? Of course it's the halal version. I think.
Oi, halal me.
Of course it is.
Okay. Hey guys,
same as you last night. This is just the chat.
Tomorrow we do some halal wine tasting for the vineyards, the halal vineyards. You know how it is. You know? It's only halal vineyards.
You saying Damn. But yeah, man. Big up Daps as well, man. The formality never stops, even if we're in the same house. I know how you are, Daps. But are you excited?
Excited about what?
Just doing the stream.
Oh, man, excited about the stream. Yeah. I thought you were going to tell me some news.
By the way, is that brick wall you got laid out?
Yeah, I need a bit more though. But, yeah.
I actually, I missed streaming, but I tuned into one stream.
You missed one damn show, Mo.
In it,
just one.
End of the world,
maybe two at best. Maybe two.
Yeah, you did.
And I heard that you started a rumor that I hate the Premier League clubs because
it's not a rumor. You started by hating them.
I don't.
Who did what?
Daps said that I hate the Premier League clubs
what you need to
because
understand
my
is,
club is broke.
Hold on. So what you need to understand is, yeah, in a roundabout way, it was defending you because obviously I get to see all the comments, right? And like the other day before we went live with Greasy, yeah. Obviously, Greasy thinks you've got this agenda against Chelsea. I said, this is the thing. Right now, Chelsea fans think Mo has an agenda against them. I said, but if you take it back a couple of months ago, what City fans thought Mo had an agenda against City. I said, there's Arsenal fans in our comments that if Mo says one thing about Arsenal, they think he's got an agenda against Arsenal. Now, guess what happened today? Today in the comments, there's some Liverpool fans that now think you've got an agenda against Liverpool. So all I was saying is any individual set of fans that think Mo has an agenda against Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City. No, Mo's got an agenda against all the clubs in England that spend money. The only ones you haven't, I mean, to be fair, at the moment, you're being mad nice to Man United. I don't know what's going on there.
So it's not about that, to be honest. It's about spending an enormous amount of money. Like this morning when we talked about
City don't do that, by the way.
Exactly. That's why I never have an agenda. That's why I don't have an agenda. So when we were talking about City, I said one thing. You remember? I said that when you reach a point when there is only one player goes and one player comes in and you are set and you're good to go, that means you're well-run club. My problem with clubs is that when they're not run well and they're allowed to spend an enormous amount of money. So even Man United now, people think that Man United have to spend millions and millions. Yes, 200 million in this day and age in a window. Inter, by the way, when we first got the taken over and Antonio Conte started, do you know how much money we spent in that season? 230 million in one window.
Absolute disgrace. You should be investigated.
I mean,
but Juventus at the same time spent 200. My problem is not someone spending 200. Is that 5 clubs spending 200 and someone is allowed to spend 600. It's not an agenda against Chelsea themselves, right? It's It's just an agenda against overspending because you ran the club wrong. That's
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah. You know what? It could be worse. You could spend 105 million on basically Gareth Barry.
Take a sip on your hello wine.
But yeah. Today we're going to be discussing most favorite team in the Premier League at the moment. He's doing a Terry's picking his favorite.
United at the moment, is it?
And United at the moment. Hojlund, Onana, and Amrabat. Crazy.
So before you continue, why do you think I favor Man United? Don't you think because you're the underdogs in the story now?
No, because I've noticed something with you right now. When
little old United.
It's literally Daps. It is literally little old United.
Like Antonio Conte went to Spurs with Perisic and he loved off them. So any player that he likes, that and he goes to another club, he's just going to support them. Because
I would say we go and buy Inter player, but I don't really want to. Cheers, we're all right.
No, you don't
I
want.
think you would want Bastoni over Gvardiol or something more established. Would you take that?
No, I wouldn't, mate.
No,
I wouldn't.
No. Really?
Yeah, really, bro. Really.
Bastoni's wicked, but Gvardiol's level.
It's not astonishing. I want someone for the next 10 years. Cheers.
Oh yeah, Bastoni's 24.
Yeah, way too old. We got Diaz for that. Cheers.
Man, 24 is way too old. It's absolutely.
I was convinced you were going to go Barella.
No.
And also we're going to be talking about, is 200 million spent for Arsenal? Is that enough? That's another question. We'll answer a little bit later. And we got Dybala for 12 million euros, which is like £8 million or something stupid like that, to Chelsea Football Club. Very, very cheap.
Dybala.
I wonder why it's
sorry, Dybala, remind me. Dybala.
He was at Juve, went to Roma, had an actual kind of couple decent season or two under Mourinho. Paulo Dybala, he was going to come to Man United.
For how much?
12 million euros.
Yeah, do you want the story of Dybala? In short, Dybala had an agreement with Inter because he was a free agent.
Argentinian?
Inter's told him, we'll sign you. And then Inter went and signed Lukaku on loan instead of signing Dybala.
Which
so
makes
Lukaku
sense.
came. Well, how did it make sense when Lukaku got injured half the season while Dybala bowled at Roma?
You didn't know Lukaku was going to get injured.
Hold on. So Dybala
had an agreement, full agreement with Inter.
But Dybala's been balling last season, yeah?
Yeah.
It's still only 12 million.
I don't know what. I think it's because of the release.
I'll tell you why. Yes, exactly. So when he signed with Roma, he told them, there's one condition, I'll sign with you, a 2-year or 3-year contract. He said, I'm allowed to leave when I want to leave. Because he makes only, I think, 5 million or 6 million, something like so cheap for his abilities. Because Inter did it. To be honest, Inter did him so dirty because they waited all summer, told him, we're going to sign you for a long contract, and then they didn't. Right. So he only had Roma at that time, but he put that condition in.
Yes, and that's going to be it today. So we're going to try dive in deep into a couple of the situations like we always do every day. Maybe try to keep this one to an hour. But yeah, man. Other than that, everyone, if you haven't smashed the like button at the moment, what are you doing? What are you doing with life? Why are you here?
You know what I mean? Also, people just to get it out of their early doors, the reason why we ask you to smash or tap or caress that like button or drum that thumb is because it helps to push this show out to more people. So we need to get the likes up as high as possible, pushes us out to a new audience. That's all we ask you to do. And then sit back, relax, get involved in the live chat. But that like button, it helps to push us out to a whole load of new viewers, even more so once the show ends. If we get the likes up a lot during the show, when we all go to sleep, we wake up and more people have watched it. The comments are bigger, the subscribers are more. So people, please just take 30 seconds to hit that like button. The other thing is we're now on 11,494 subscribers. We really want to clear that 11,500 mark really easy. So if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe now. Sit back, relax, and keep the comments coming in the live chat.
Yeah. What do you mean, Midgard said I'm against Man United? I support Manchester United. I'm not a negative fan. I'm just more realistic with my club. If anything,
I don't think you're negative. Well, listen, I can confirm now. This guy is far from negative. Off screen, he tries to put a positive and find a positive in everything to do with Man United. He's not a negative United fan. He's just I think he is where he is at the moment, and your club is where you are at the moment.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. So that's actually where we're going to start, is actually Man United. And I think we started on them as well earlier today. So, but that was a lot along the lines of Mason Mount, number 7, and all that kind of stuff.
Iconic.
Yes, iconic number 7. But what are we saying? Let's dive into the Onana situation, because the Ornstein's come out with some stuff. We saw Sky Sports come out with some stuff. We've been rejected today. New bid's going to go in. Rumored is 52 million euros, Mo. And that's exactly where your club is looking at, roughly around that figure. But I wonder what the base bid will be. What are you saying on that?
I thought that Inter won 60 million euros because of the Saudi offer that came to Inter, and the Marotta, the president, not the CEO today, the guy that runs everything there, said that your offer was too low. So basically, you're lowballing Inter, which is very strange.
Well, you should wake up and smell the coffee.
So the reason why I said that, because Inter said the deadline for Onana is July 12th. If you don't know that, they said that pre-season is the deadline. It's someone gonna buy Onana. That's what they said. You know how things can go. They can turn their heads with a good offer from Man United, but Man United at the moment are doing what they did with Anthony, which is lowballing, not getting the right bid, and then at the end, Inter are going to say, no, we probably want more money now because you waited too long.
Yeah, so along them lines, I'll say this quickly. So it came from himself. Where is he? Mr. Ornstein. One sec. Why is this chat so booming all the time? So he said that they don't seem to be a million miles away. The offer seems to be verbal right now. The dialogues between John Murto and Inter Milan with Onana leaving, there is a deal there to be done, right? I don't know. Is this? I want to know from a few guys in the comments as well. I just want to see. I'll scan it. Is it really lowballing? Why is it a lowball? This is why when I'm seeing Dybala going for like 10 million euros, I'm seeing Tonali going for like 60 million pounds. Is it pounds? And that's a centre mid at that point. Who else is there roughly? They're quoting this money or that money for the next player. Why is Onana a goalkeeper worth 60 million euros?
He's one of a kind. We talked about it.
You said he's had one, but I'm going to use something from your book, Mo. Like when you were saying Caicedo's had one good year, McAllister one good year, we never know, he's done all this kind of stuff, but he's worth this much money. When we realistically think about it, Onana's only had one good year.
He was good at Ajax, but he wasn't great at Ajax. He was good at Ajax. But in my opinion, if Onana for me is irreplaceable, even for 100 million. The reason why I'm saying that, because there is not another Onana. Like if you sell Barella tomorrow, if Inter sell Barella, if Man United tomorrow sell Lisandro Martinez for the right amount of money, you can go and buy another one. Like, but even I'm talking, let me give an example. If Man City tomorrow sell Haaland for 400 million, there's only one Haaland in the world. There's no money that can buy another Haaland because there's only one guy. And I think Onana now, he is one of 3 goalkeepers at the moment based on last year. And I think he was better than the other two, than Alisson and Ederson. But that's Alisson and Ederson has the consistency in them, which is they are better than him in terms of consistency. We have seen them every year. What is
clean sheets in cup finals? Clean sheets.
So my thing about Onana is that he is one of a kind. Like there is not like if you miss on Onana tomorrow, what happens to Man United? That's what I want to know. Like. There is not even like there's only one Mbappe, there's only one Haaland, there's only like KDB. If you sell KDB, who are you going to replace KDB with? There's only one guy in the world that is like this. It is. I think Man United should go and put the right offer there and just get.
I mean, it's guy. Not for me. It's not a lot of money as well either. On his age, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah, but
60 million euros isn't a lot for Man United.
No, that's what I'm saying. 60 million based on his age, it isn't a lot.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's not a lot of money, but right now it is a lot of money to Man United, because in this is what we all know. The narrative is Man United pay up whenever they need to or overpay, right? Yeah. We started off with 40 million euros, right? Maybe it was 35 a verbal, then an actual bid of 40 million euros as a package went, and you said no. They said that Inter Milan want around 50. Now, there must be somewhere in the middle there. And if that's anything around 45 million euros as a package, which I think it's going to believe to be, something similar to the Jurriën Timber deal. Then, and I'm talking with the add-ons have to be probably more than likely guaranteed as well. Something realistic in my mind.
Right.
And Man United's actually done very well with this, and this is something you have to give them credit for.
How much did Liverpool?
Biased.
How much did Liverpool pay for Alisson?
70 million.
Right. Where Alisson came from?
Roma.
How many seasons did he had at Roma?
At that
one
point,
season.
he was quite young, to be fair.
Right, one season. I'm just trying to work out. You know what I'm doing here? I'm trying to work out why 70 million and now why, because like if I think you know, with inflation and everything, I think this is a good price for him. I really do. I don't, based on what Mo's saying, based on the season he's had, I don't think it's a lot of money for him, especially even more so where you're looking at, I think with Man United and Liverpool, then it's similar in a way that back then Liverpool clearly needed a goalkeeper, and now Manchester United even more so clearly need a goalkeeper. So it is based on, and that it does get taken into consideration, the buying club and how much a buying club needs the player. I think, you know, maybe United, as anyone else, I guess the fact that no one else out there really on the hunt for a goalkeeper too much now. Like
Chelsea were linked with him.
Yeah, but bro, really, I think Chelsea have got other business they're trying to get done as a priority because Chelsea.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think of top clubs needing a goalkeeper. I mean, Tottenham were linked with him at some point as well.
No, but they don't now. We're talking right now while the negotiations is going on. Tottenham have their man. Chelsea's eyes are elsewhere. So I guess that's something that at the moment, the only team really that are coming in for him that could probably afford him is Man United. So
and the wages we can give him as well is very tempting, along with Saudi as well. Obviously, if Saudi if it's room, but I think the Saudi stuff is all PR. I don't believe that's even the case.
A Saudi in for him.
Well, apparently one of the Saudi clubs are in for him, but I think it's PR to drive up Man United's bid, because otherwise there would be more news around it, and that's why I call it PR. I don't believe it for a second. 60 million is not going to be the case. You're not going to get it. But once Man United actually spending money well, if they are to secure something for around 45, and you'd be very annoyed with it, Mo, but this is the way football works at the moment. It's just too much power in the Premier League.
Yeah.
No, I'll be annoyed because the fee would be too low and we can't replace him. Like, I actually think that even 60 million is too hard to replace Onana, but I'll be okay because I made my peace with it that he's leaving. But if he leaves for that low, why are we letting him go to go and buy another keeper for 30 million, which is how we're going to replace him then?
We cannot replace him. We cannot.
Exactly that. But they replaced him and they got a triple. So maybe we can do the same.
There we go. Is incoming, Mo? Incoming. This is what you need. This is like Kane needs to leave Tottenham. Onana needs to leave Inter. And then, you know, the future.
It's the same situation with your Italian clubs. Your Italian clubs fold. Like, look at Atalanta at the moment. At first, they wanted 70 million euros for Hojlund. Went down to 65 and 60. Man United put in was it 35 million euros or something like that, or pounds? Yes. And now they want 45 or 50, something like that. They want a 45 base bid and 50 million in 50 in totals. Crazy. Your Italian clubs just getting bullied left, right, and center. You can't do it because you don't have to take the money.
They don't have money. I think actually the way Inter management are working right now, I think actually I would have to agree with you. I think it will be at least, it would be 45 to 50 million, including everything, add-ons, not 60 as they wanted in the beginning. And I think Man United at the end, they're going to get their player for like,
I think so.
45, 60, 50 million max?
I think 50
max.
mil. Yeah, I think 50 million.
50 million euros max.
And what do you lot know about Kolo Muani? Sorry, I'm moving. What do you lot know about Kolo Muani, by the way? I don't suspect it to be a worldwide known thing. We watched him in the World Cup. Daps, you'd remember him if you pointed him out, to be fair.
If someone pointed him out, I would have remembered. Otherwise, I wouldn't have.
You would. He was the one that won the penalty. What do you know about him, Mo?
It's a quick player, a little bit trickery, but not a lot. But
do you think
physical?
Do you think he's a number 9 like that to be in the Prem? Like, you know what? I saw a compilation of him today. I'm not going to say I've watched him loads. I watched him in for Frankfurt in a few games. I remember watching him early in the season of the Bundesliga as well, and he was killing it. I think he killed Bayern Munich later as well. Absolutely tore them to the pieces. And we're talking about Bayern Munich, not just any team. But the way he plays, it's like Man United don't need players because he seems to just drift out wide a lot. And I think he's sick. And apparently his price has now gone down to 70 million euros. That 100 million now is 70 million euros. Like 60 million pounds. Let's just talk in pounds. I don't know. I like the look of Hojlund. I think I'm a little bit more sold on. I'd rather take a gamble on Hojlund. Only reason being because I just like them strikers, right? And it's a word to 15, as in Safo. Like Hojlund breaks his neck to go get a goal. Like he will put his body in places where striker number 9 should be on the pitch. Whereas Kolo Muani, don't get me wrong, his link up is wicked, right? But it's kind of like Martial, the way he used to be, and the link up dropping deep. I don't think I want a striker doing that no more. And I think that's where City had enough. They just want a striker that's in the box and go and that's going to be clinical. And he's wicked. He can beat a player. He can do that. He just left. He can drift off right. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of. He's a very good player, but he reminds me of a Marcus Rashford a few years ago when he was a little bit more raw.
Do you know who he remind me of? But it's not the same body shape and stuff. You know when Serge Gnabry used to play a striker for Bayern Munich sometimes when Lewandowski was off, he used to drift wide. I'm not comparing, but the same style, like a player that likes to go wide, likes to go behind, doesn't like to be in the 18 all the time, likes to dribble with the ball instead of getting at the end of things. But Man United really, as I agree with you, they need a number 9. They don't need someone that... Because they have a Bruno, they bought a Mason Mount, they have a Rashford. They don't need
occupying in space.
They don't need a body carrier. They need a number 9. They need a let's say they need a Vlahovic. They need a similar.
I think with Weghorst as well.
I don't like Vlahovic. I don't like Vlahovic, but you need a number 9.
I haven't seen Vlahovic linked with.
I'm not saying Hojlund. I'm not saying Hojlund. A 20-year-old should not come to Man United, and we can't expect 20 goals from him in the first season. That's just ridiculous, right? But sometimes you got to take the punt. Like the guy looks. He looks physically capable. He's very fast. He's about 6'3" as well. He's good in the air. He's actually good at pretty much most things. He can link up the play. But I just don't know. I have a striker that I think is as much as a gamble as another. I just think Kolo Muani is just a little bit more
established. He's more established.
He's more established.
He's 24 years old. Played in Liga. Scored a lot of goals. This year had 29 GA.
Here's the next question then. Can Man United afford such a gamble on such a young striker?
Which one of them? Hojlund is a gamble. Kolo Muani isn't a gamble. He's an established player. He's not a gamble. He's 24, so he's not a gamble.
He's only been in the game for the professional game for 2 years.
3 games.
I just answered that wrong, I think, because when you said, can Man United afford, I instantly thought of money. But I don't think it is about money. It's not
about that. I think it's about spending 70 million on something.
No, it's not. It's not about that at all. It's not about the money. I think what Cass means is it's a gamble, as in this season. This season, when you've got the other teams doing what they're doing, if Man United don't get it right, do they drop out Champions League?
Yeah, but
that's the gamble, not the money. Forget the money. Yeah, no, I get it, but that's why. You have to really weigh up because it's not about the amount of money spent.
But who else? Who else as of now? It's Ivan Toney, who's suspended until January. It's the Aston Villa guy.
I guess with Man United. Sorry, how much?
Watkins isn't great.
Hold on. Here's a question, right? And I think I know the answer to this. So you're talking for these players about 70 million, Cass, yeah?
Not Hojlund. Hojlund's quoted at a lot less.
Right, okay, but Kane is being quoted a certain amount to Bayern. But am I right that if it was Man United that came in, Levy would instantly whack up the price?
Probably to 110.
Yeah. Right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I was just thinking if you're considering that price range, why not going for Kane? I know that you're probably thinking, well, if we hold out a year, we can get him for free. But I guess it's because Levy, the minute any Premier League team comes in, Levy's going to go, well, in that case, if he's staying in the Premier League, I want an extra 30 million.
I feel like the only way Man United get Kane is if, let's say, right now, by next week, or sometime in the middle of this month, not later this month, target announced. Let them do their checks for the next 6 weeks and stuff like that. Get some money cleared, get that. And at the end, Man United pulled that one out of the bag. If Harry Kane hasn't gone nowhere, that's going to be their signing. Like, the marquee signing when new owners come in and go test the waters there and be like, okay, 120, cool, we'll just pay it. That's the only way I see Man United pulling out.
But I don't think Levy would be. Sorry, not Levy. I don't think Ten Hag would be willing to risk that weight. and be like, oh well, we go into another season without a striker, because it would be a risk, wouldn't it?
That's where it is. I think Martial stays. I don't think nobody's going to buy him. Let's be realistic. That injury record will have any team looking at him thinking, I don't.
And you don't think you'd let him go on a free?
No, I think you're gonna have to. I think you can't really let, even if he's injury prone, he's going next year for free. I'd rather if it's at the worst case scenario, keep him for 1 more year and just let him go. Like, if I got Qatar, I don't care about 20 million anymore. I'll be honest. I know it should be good, but what's 20 million in this day and age? I'd rather if we could though. If an offer came in for 20 million, I'd be like, cool. But then it's like, can I trust Manchester United to go and identify a proper striker to go and replace that? The only one I can think that can replace him in a short-term gap, by the way, is Taremi from Porto. Because I think you're going to have to take that gamble there and put him on a 3-year deal. And if it doesn't work out by the next season and you want to go get another striker, shift him on. Go get your money back.
Yeah, I think also, like, I was looking at the strikers. I was just listing names in my head, and I think that Ferguson would be okay at Man United. Young.
I'd rather him. He just looks established. Like Hojlund, he's filled out. He just looks ready, and he's just ready to go.
I think he's ready next year to start for a team. He's ready to start.
That's a name that's very interesting. If you can't get Kane, there's no number 9 in the world that Man United or any football team can think you're going to go. Maybe Osimhen. Maybe Osimhen might be the shout. He might be available
more than Man United than Harry Kane.
But my next year he'll be quoted at a price where we don't even care anymore. But it's just, I'm thinking, would I want to do that? I'd rather take the punt on.
No one else in for Osimhen at the moment as well.
No, you know, Daps, I don't get Napoli. Yeah, 1 minute he's 100 million. Next minute they say 100 in euros. By the way,
listen, I've been saying this all season to anyone that's been linked with any Napoli player. Understand from first look, we've seen it. City have seen it. Napoli, doing business with Napoli is not good. They're not an easy team to do business with at all. And the minute they know you want a player, they change. They'll throw out. It's like an estate agent that puts a house on the market for a certain amount until they get one viewing through the door. Then all of a sudden they're going, actually, no, we're changing the price. We're whacking an extra 100 bags on it. Literally, they're not great at doing business. I mean, I know Mo said that they seem to be, they've won the league and now they're not caring. They'll let the team disband. But same way, they know he is, especially in this market right now where a lot of people are after strikers, a lot of Premier League clubs are after strikers. They know, like, if you've got Chelsea and Man United circling at the moment, then...
I'll be honest, if we can't get Hojlund, and you can't realistically get Kolo Muani, I know I'm never going to get my shot. I'll be going for Balogun.
I mean, PSG will be in for a striker, I presume, as well this summer at some point.
No, they probably will. That's where we all think it's going to end up. If they sell Mbappe, I'll see Victor Osimhen being their next big thing, and then maybe go get.
Well,
Bernardo.
Neymar looks like Neymar might be going. Looks like Messi's gone. And they've got three forwards gone, right? Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe potentially all going in one summer.
They can definitely afford
the wages alone.
Save you a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
This is where I say, look, if I want to get a young striker out there that's available, I'm going to get Balogun. I'm a fan of him. I think he's going to be wicked.
50 million I've seen.
Nah, no chance. No chance. See when you say, look, whoa, Balogun, that's a gamble. Hojlund's a gamble. Ferguson's a gamble.
Yeah.
All of these.
But Balogun's still owned by Arsenal, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, bro, you're paying big money for him. If Man United...
Again, another one.
That's big money.
One who's out of favour from Chelsea, and he's just come back from an injury as well. Unfortunately, I still really like. Exactly, I really like him.
Yeah. I mentioned him the other day when people were talking about Jackson coming in and Chelsea still kind of potentially looking for another striker. I was like, well, what does that mean to Brozier? Because Brozier, until people forget, Brozier got injured last season, and he was ahead of Aubameyang in the pecking order. He was their only striker. Interesting on that one.
I think that Brozier will be. I think that Brozier will be their main striker. To be honest, if they don't get a striker, I think if they don't get a striker, I think it's going to be him and Jackson. Whoever is going to convince Pochettino he's going to start the games. I think if they don't get a striker, because there's nobody in the market, as you said. Because there's nobody. They wanted Osimhen. He's out. He's like 150, 180. It's never going to happen. And I think they're going to just stick with Jackson. I don't know if Lukaku's going to stay. It looks like he is leaving.
I think Lukaku's the maddest one because I don't think... Yeah, how that Lukaku one ends up, I don't know.
He's going to end up at Inter.
He's going to be at Inter Milan.
Yeah.
100%.
What? And Chelsea paid his wages still, or
No, they're gonna sell him on 5-year deal with them.
right?
Yeah, but like 25 million or something like that, right?
25 million euros paid on 5 years, like
Yeah,
5 loans.
yeah, probably. Chloe here says Osimhen is extending his contract. Is that true?
Wow.
I think they're gonna extend his contract, but he's still gonna be sold. Listen, Napoli are not gonna keep him.
They'll extend it just to put a clause in it, probably, or something.
But he's not gonna stay. He might stay in this year, but they're gonna sell him next year.
Yeah, that's what.
But again, my shout, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I think Man United are gonna end up with Harry Kane.
I hope so. I hope so. It's crazy when you think about it. Man United fans were asking like, what were you gonna get? Like let's say about 5 months ago, even 4 months ago, it was like this whole striker debate. Even for myself, everyone was saying, "No, I don't want Harry Kane." Like, nah, I don't know. But when you realistically get to it, what bad boys are really available out there? Last one, I'm actually really excited about. Amrabat. I know, I'm a massive fan of this guy, man.
I think we all are. I think all of us are kind of.
What we watched this guy extensive. We watched every single Moroccan game, Mo. Yeah. Every single one, and I swear down, it's wicked. You watch him more for Fiorentina. I haven't watched Fiorentina this season at all. And if he's going to 2 cup finals, I see him boss Gareth Barry in the final of the Conference League. Then all I'm gonna say is like, bring him. And you're a big fan of him as well. And he's not going to Barcelona no more. And if Fred gets sold, he's the next on the list, which I like. That's a proper replacement. And you're like, wait, Man United, what? Are you sure? The same price, by the way, 20 million or 20 odd million.
Love the guy. Gonna add a lot to Man United. Would have suited more Liverpool, in my opinion.
I think so as well.
Liverpool more. I actually wanted him. Like I thought that if he goes to Liverpool, he transforms the team. And as you said, he goes to your team. He's too good to sit on the bench, not because of the price, but he will have, as you said, he's going to have to sit at the bench, most likely, as you said, if you don't change the way you play, unless you do what I said before, which I don't know. Mason Mount on the left. You wouldn't like that. I'm going to piss you off again. Number 7, the left winger again. The new number 7, left winger again.
Beckham was number 7, wasn't he?
But he was right winger. But yeah, maybe a new number 7, Di Maria, number 7 left.
Lee Sharp, wasn't Lee Sharp number 7 as well?
Memphis Depay.
Lee Sharp was number 7, and Lee Sharp was right as well. I'm pretty certain.
So, but anyway,
11, Lee Sharp was 7. I'm sure. No, Canada, maybe Lee Sharp wasn't 7.
Whoever in the Premier League is going to get Amrabat is going to get a cheap player that plays very progressive football, but also can break the opponents always. But he plays in a ball position team, and I'm sure that the guys that watch us, I said that many times. I don't watch a lot of Serie A, but I watch the big teams, and Fiorentina, probably I watched like 10 games for them this year. They always try to have the ball. It's a progressive team that likes to play on the front foot. They don't like to sit deep. They don't like to defend. So he is good in the transition to block the other team, but also he's good on the ball. And we saw against West Ham in the final, he is the one who dictated the tempo of the game. It was him getting the ball from the defense and moving the ball to the other part of the pitch. That's something that.
By the way, Lee Sharp was never. He barely was number 7. I think he was number 7.
No, it wasn't. No, you're right, because Lee Sharp was there around the same. No, Lee Sharp was before you said it. Lee Sharp was there around the same time as Eric Cantona.
Lee Sharp changed his shirt number every single season.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
I think, to be fair, if we're going as far as Lee Sharp, I don't even know if players kept change numbers there. But Lee Sharp, hold tight, Lee Sharp.
They probably did. They probably did. Maybe the most iconic ones is the ones that just stayed the same. Robson was 7.
Robson was 7. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I'm excited, but again, gotta take it with a pinch of salt with Man United. It's just always news. It's just like I'd rather see something concrete again, like Amrabat. I want to see something.
Why don't you think anybody's gonna try to bid with you
for Amrabat?
Yes, like a Liverpool. Go for him.
No. I think because they're so interested in Lavia at the moment, and I believe they need to sell a midfielder as well, and they're going to be focused on doing stuff like that. If they wanted to bid for him for someone as cheap as that, they would have done it by now.
But don't you think if you don't do the business quick, I'm gonna the same thing we said about Arsenal not finishing Declan Rice early and Man City going there and look at the price now. I think Man United should be their priority now, not Onana, because nobody, as you said, nobody is in for Onana. Yes, Inter has a deadline, but they can put an offer in and see what Inter comes back. But Amrabat now, once he gets linked to the Premier League, people are going to hear about, Man United want Amrabat. Maybe we want him.
No. What's going to happen there, Mo, is let's not fall for this. What's going to happen is that once Man United bid for him, the agents are going to get out there and they're going to circle this news that other teams are in for him. Amrabat, had an amazing World Cup. Certain Premier League teams needed players in that role and have not gone in for him. That it confuses me. I don't understand why, but they haven't. All of a sudden, because Man United go in for him, it's not going to change Liverpool of all clubs. Liverpool seem very set on the way they're doing business this summer. Liverpool are not going in for Amrabat. If they were, there would have been heavier rumours a long, long time ago. Liverpool aren't going in for him, man.
Yeah,
I don't get it, but United can go and get that one done easily, I think.
Yeah, Scott McTominay also might be on his way out the door. I think DiMarzio said that they're looking at Sabitzer and McTominay. But I just don't see Roma putting up like a 30 million, 35 million bid for McTominay, and I don't think Man United would entertain it. They'd rather just keep
Roma
him.
or Liverpool, Roma or Fiorentina.
No, Roma interested in Sabitzer and Scott McTominay came out today.
Sabitzer what?
Sabitzer this, Sabitzer that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is Kane going to be another last minute Berbatov back in 2008?
That's what Mo keeps saying.
That's what I think might be the case, but it just depends.
I think if Qatar get in time, I definitely think so.
Yeah.
And they don't have to necessarily be in control. I think.
No, they don't.
I think they just need the direction. They just need the direction to be able to say, this is the direction we're going in. Because it is, I think that is, and do you know what? I would say, because I've said before that I think United will get Qatar in, but not over the line in time to do much business this transfer window, much significant business, but they might get one marquee signing in that long-term isn't that good. It's just a look, we can do this and go and throw money at Neymar or something like that. If they went with Kane, I think that's a very good message that we're here, we can get what we want, and this is what we want. And as a United fan, you'd be like, we're good with that. Because I think Kane is perfect for Man United, man. I do think Man United are probably. No, they're not. You're right. Kane
Question for
Man
Cass.
United aren't good for him.
Question for Cass. Do you think Harry Kane needs a preseason with you at all, or it doesn't matter? He is that caliber of a player that will come in banging goals.
He should do with a guy that's about 30 years old and someone as good as that, and also the Premier League like experience under him. He should come in and fit like a glove. He knows Rashford, he knows Sancho, he knows a lot of these players as it is.
He doesn't know English though.
Yeah, he doesn't know English himself though. So
just got to deal with the language mode, then he'll be fine.
I can imagine any of them guy like Casemiro, like English.
I've dealt with Geordies, I've dealt with Scousers, but I've dealt with Welsh. What language is this man speaking?
He should come with, if he's going to come with a heavy price tag. There's again, man. This is where he tests his resolve. Is we've got the mentality and to push you through.
Maguire Kane link up. Maguire Kane link up.
Don't do that.
It's happening, bro. It's happening.
Maguire's getting sold one way or another.
Them team talks. Maguire, you know. You're 1-0 down, half time at the Etihad. It's fine. You got Kane and Maguire to roll that team talk.
You know what the problem with Harry Kane? If they get Harry Kane, Mason Mount gets pushed to the midfield. The midfield that was Bruno, Mason Mount, and Casemiro. If they don't get Harry Kane, Mason Mount plays somewhere else, and Rashford plays up top.
I'm just realizing you're gonna have Harry Kane. You're gonna have
whatever.
You're gonna have
Mason Mount is coming out of. Mason Mount is coming out.
Harry.
You are getting Southgate's golden boys, you know.
Oh yeah,
the two Harrys and Mace.
Yeah, play football properly. You know, teach Southgate how to actually play a bit of ball with like some actually decent players. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. But moving on from Man United now. I think we've spoken on a little bit too long. Yeah, at last, hooray. Guys, if you ain't smashed the like button, what are we on? 200 likes? 208 likes. This can be on 300.
Yeah,
what's wrong with you guys, people? Man?
620 of you. Come on, people. Please take 1 minute out, not 1 minute. Take 10 seconds out to locate and press that like button. It'll help boost us out to more people and get some new subscribers on the road to 12k, and it'll get us out overnight while we're sleeping. Some new people can watch this and they'll join you in the shows tomorrow. Who are we going to talk about next time?
Arsenal, man. Is 200 million enough? Because you know what? The only reason why I have to spin the block a little bit is because when other teams have spent 200 odd million, 250 million, there's a lot of eyeballs. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shameless talk. But this
Do you
ain't
know
me.
what?
This ain't me trying to be shameless or anything. But I'm just saying, is 200 million enough? Should Arsenal fans be happy if this is going to be the last signing in Timber?
It won't be the last signing in Timber, but
Party
firstly,
stays. Let's say Party stays. Let's say
all right,
Shaka
if
goes and
everyone
Party
else stays, firstly, look, I said this yesterday, I've said this on a few shows. Arsenal fans should be happy that their board is showing intent. Their board is showing that, they're not resting on their morals. They've not got into Champions League and gone, good, we're in Champions League. That's fine. That's all we want. They want more than Champions League. They want to challenge again. They want to challenge, probably go far in the Champions League. I think Declan Rice is a great signing. I think Timber shows that they know they need the cover. Also, they've gone and got a player that is quite versatile as well, which I think is good, the way Arteta plays football. But we can sit here and say if they don't get another player, but I'd be shocked if Arsenal don't get another player. I'd be truly shocked.
Do they need? Let's say Party leave.
Yes.
Let's say
So,
on that.
no.
Let's just say he stays, and Shaka's the only one that's going to leave now. Is that a set team? Party.
No.
No, they
The
want one
reason
more
why-
because
the
they want to
reason
do
why
better
the
than last
numbers-
season.
The number.
What?
Listen, they play 4 competitions, Champions League as well, not Europa League. They have, realistically, Declan Rice, Odegaard, Partey, and Jorginho. Who else is in that midfield? Don't tell me Elneny. Don't tell me Don't tell me what's his name, Fabio Vieira. Don't tell me these names. Can you go in the season? They did the right business, right? They still need another one. That another one doesn't have to be 50 million. It can be a 25 million cover for that left side midfield because they don't have anybody there other than Declan Rice. If you think about that, Declan Rice shouldn't be playing 50 games, right? Like this guy, this is your most expensive signing. You should have a rotation for him.
Yeah.
Their starting 11 with one sub in that midfield, which is Jorginho, is decent enough, but it's not deep enough to go deep in all the competitions. Pause. But it is. I think they need another midfielder.
Liverpool did.
Yeah, I see your point. Jurgen Klopp doesn't rotate. You think now, but Arsenal last year, because they weren't the squad wasn't deep enough, they actually fell off at the end. And I think they need one more midfielder. Smith Rowe, good shout. I didn't count him.
Yeah,
I still think that
we forget.
I
about
think
Smith Rowe.
I forget about him. I forget about him, to be honest. But he's a very good. Maybe if he plays well next season, that's good enough. Now we're talking that's good enough. Now we're talking that's 5 midfielders that are good enough to challenge. I still think that the last time I saw Smith Rowe was kind of on the sides. He wasn't in the center. So can he really come in right away and play? I hope so. I liked him when he played before he got injured, but I think I didn't count him. But 5 midfielders is good enough. Well, compared to Liverpool, I have 8. So I think
if they're only going to get another midfielder, I believe if they sell Partey, and that's the only thing. So that's what I'm saying. Is it not just good enough to go forward when you think of their backups? To be fair, of that midfield, it's not that great when you think about it. It's not great. Yeah, it's actually not. When actually deep, it's not great at all. Whether you have Kai Havertz there, Jorginho, or whatever centre mid's going to be centre mid or attacking mid at that, it's not good enough. When you think of a placement that comes in for, let's say it is Partey's there or Declan Rice or Odegaard, it's kind of smelly.
Why?
It is.
Declan Rice, Odegaard, and Thomas Partey is not good enough for you.
No, I didn't say that. I said anyone that replaces them in terms of, let's say they get rotated.
Jorginho is not bad. He did a job.
Okay, that's not bad. But then I look at centre mid and attacking mid, and there's a huge drop off.
Yeah, Smith Rowe, based on what we saw, but he didn't play last year. Can we count him out? You want to count Smith Rowe out?
I didn't say that. I think he can be reformed into an 8. I think Smith Rowe even started his career as an 8. More time. Well, that's where he started, and he went into the 10. Obviously,
I'm just convinced of one thing, Cass. Kai Havertz should not play in the midfield. Simple as that.
I think that's where he's going, man. That's exactly where he's going. You don't spend 65
I don't see it. I don't see it, man. If Arteta pulled this off, he's a genius. If he can mold him into a good number 8, he's a genius. Absolute genius.
Yeah.
Because it's too hot. Like, the guy has no defensive attributes in him at all. 0. Lazy, doesn't run a lot. It's just people keep saying he's a number 8. He's a left-footed. Just because he's left-footed and looks like Xhaka, he's a number 8. It's not by the looks. It's not by the looks.
Oh wow.
Like seriously, what? How can he play number 8?
Nah, I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. You've seen weirdest things in the world, like Joe Linton going centre mid. You ever
Do
thought
you know
that?
what? I refuse to, and I'm going to be very confident going into next season that I've been limited with my comments on Havertz and Mount, and I'm just going to repeatedly say on both of them, let them cook, right? To Chelsea fans and to Man United fans, don't be shameless. Don't start talking about they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Let them cook, because we understand predominantly Man United fans and Arsenal fans. No matter what you want to say, anyone in the chat, you're not overwhelmed with either of these signings. Neither of you are overly happy. You didn't come into the transfer window. You didn't come into this transfer window expecting and hoping that you got Mount and Havertz, right? But you did. And they're not mad amounts of money. 60 million, it sounds a lot, but in this day and age for midfielders at their price, it's not that much money. Yeah, Mo, don't shoot me for saying that. I know he's killing you hearing me say 60 million is not a lot. But if you just don't say nothing and go, don't know, we're going to give them a chance, let them cook. Because I would say here and now, I expect one of those two at least to have a good season. Probability-wise and whatever else, I trust Ten Hag and Arteta. I actually think both of them are good managers, yeah? So I don't think either of them would have signed either of these two players without having a plan of where they can go. Now, I have said that if we base it on what we've seen at Chelsea, Mount has had a period at Chelsea where he was good, right? Havertz, not so much. People will tell me he scored a goal in the Champions League against my club. No problem. But if I was to be a betting man, I'd probably say Mount actually has a better season than Havertz. However, because of the fact that I think Arsenal will have a better season than Man United, I would say that maybe Havertz might end up looking better. Do you know what I mean by that? That Mount
because Havertz is coming to a team that is already good.
Exactly.
He's already there. But Mount is going to a team that he's supposed to add to that team. If Kai Havertz adds nothing, Arsenal's still good based on last season.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. And I do. Look, we spoke on this last night, and we will very soon be able to understand what Havertz's role at Arsenal is. Because Mo, Odegaard, he's staying, yeah? Odegaard is a starter, 100%, right?
100%.
Declan Rice, 105 million, starter, right?
Starts before Odegaard.
Right, cool. Saka on the right, starter, right?
No question.
Martinelli on the left, starter, right?
No question.
I don't believe anyone thinks that Havertz is going Arsenal to play the false nine. I think they know that Jesus is going to start in the middle, which leaves only one position on that pitch at Arsenal, yeah? One position available for Havertz to be a starter, and that is on the left of midfield, right? So, what are you laughing at?
Because I'm looking at this midfield and I keep thinking in my head, Kai Havertz and Odegaard and Rice behind them. You have to have the ball 90 minutes. You cannot give the opposition the ball.
This is what I'm saying. I'm looking at the Havertz thing, and when you see Arsenal being linked with Tchouaméni, Arsenal being linked with Caicedo still, and Arsenal still being linked with other midfielders. If Arsenal go and get one of those, for me, Havertz is a squad player. He's going to be rotated in and out. He's not going to be a starter.
Didn't you just say that 60 million isn't a lot? That means it's okay for him to be a squad player.
100% is. And then,
I'm going to forget the money. So he's a squad player for me.
And then, if you look at that, it's not Havertz is a squad player in Arsenal's system. I don't think it's a bad signing.
I'm going to forget the money. Not a bad signing. If they can revive his career. Based on the last 3 years.
It's not actually washed.
It's an absolutely terrible signing.
Yeah. When you think about ability-wise, Havertz is definitely not washed.
No.
It's you could say attacking players, even under Tuchel, have suffered. Every single one of them.
Every single one.
The only one that didn't suffer so much was Mount. That's the only one.
I mean, my opinions on Tuchel is that Tuchel came in, and Tuchel at Chelsea, 100% the season he landed. So I can't remember. Was it around January time? That season he was great, but after that, I don't really rate Tuchel that highly. I think Tuchel.
I agree with you. I think he's overrated. I think what he did is that they were scoring a lot of goals and they were leaking a lot of goals. And they were leaking a lot of goals. But what he did is he said, you know what? Forget this 4-3-3, whatever we're playing. We're switching to back three. with 2 wing backs that are defending. So he locked out the defense and won the games like this, which the reflection is the Champions League final. They're you can
and
have the ball.
Even look, I saw him, I think it was last season, not the season we've just had, it was the season before, I think, where Chelsea came to City, and at that point, I think it was still Liverpool, City, and Chelsea that were going at it, right? But City was starting to pull away. And I saw Tuchel come to the Etihad, and there was no style of play whatsoever. And at that point, a draw was fine for City. A draw was perfectly fine for City. Chelsea needed to win it. And the way they came and sat back and did absolutely nothing, I thought, I don't really know if this guy knows what's like. I think he's very overrated.
I swear to God, Daps, I said that when I started talking about Chelsea. I said something about Thomas Tuchel. I think I said that he gets you wins. He will get you in the Champions League he'll get you somewhere Champions League in the league. But what is Chelsea? Every time I was watching Chelsea, I said, what was Chelsea? What is the style of play? And I saw nothing. But he is someone who can just get you results. And he got results for them.
Well, last game of the season, he got Bayern a result, luckily.
I don't know. I quite like Tuchel. I think where it all went wrong for me is when Roman decided that he's going to give him Lukaku, whether you like it or not, and you're going to have to make it work. I don't think he wanted Lukaku. I think that's where it went wrong. And then obviously the ownership situation went wrong. And
the ownership didn't help him as well, to be fair. So that was hard for him.
I remember watching Chelsea, right, without wingers properly. You had to use Mount at the time. You had to use Havertz at the time, and all this kind of stuff. And I think if I don't know, maybe you could say if Roman was still around, I think he would still be manager today.
Yeah,
potentially. I just remember watching him in spells sometimes against Man City. Just couldn't seem to beat them. Even against other teams, they were just the way they play football was actually really, really good at times. And I don't think even Chelsea fans wanted Lukaku. But they got gassed over it, obviously thinking he's going to come with high expectations.
They wanted Haaland, bro. That's what Chelsea expected to get was Haaland.
And when you think about it, when Lukaku first comes to Chelsea, started scoring a couple of goals. If they had Haaland at that point. Who knows? All them
and in hindsight, the goals that Lukaku scored were very much goals that Haaland would have also scored, but then he would have scored more on top of that.
When you think of how Tuchel was going to set up with a 3-4-3 as well, think of it a bit like Man City. Who supplies Haaland? They got Jack Grealish. You wouldn't say he's an out-and-out winger. He's more of a creator, right? Like an inside creator kind of type. Bernardo Silva, whereas a Gundo, that's why they had the Havertz. That's why you had your Mount. Kind of just more closer to the striker and just let the wing backs do the job. And I'm telling you now, with those wing backs that they had at that time, like Reece James when he was fit,
and Chilwell fit,
they ought to be feeding this guy. Haaland could have really dominated at that point.
I do think. Look, I do think in if you look at last season with Chelsea, Tuchel also was going through personal issues. I remember last season as well, going through a divorce. And then all the ownership, and he was in a hard position. So I guess we'll give him that a little bit. But I don't know. I just with Mount, my main thing I was saying with Mount and Havertz, I think everyone should just kind of hold fire now. We get it. Chelsea fans, you're happy. Arsenal fans, you're not happy, but you're trying to support it. And United will end up the same. You'll end up trying to support him. Just wait. Don't overhype them. If Arsenal fans, we play you in the Community Shield. If Havertz starts and has a good game, calm down. Yeah, because let's just let these players cook and see what comes. I'm saying I think one of the two at very least will have a good season though.
I have one question for the people because I know Cass wants to do the super chat.
Super chats.
If Havertz and Mount perform well, is that a surprise?
Not, you know what? Not because I've only just came to this realization the last 10 minutes about Havertz because I don't think he's rubbish actually when I've really deep it. And even Mount at that stage. The only thing is, a lot of Mount's senior career has been on the wing, not in the midfield. So,
no, he ain't playing on the wing.
I wouldn't really be surprised. Anyone that's at top for Chelsea have suffered, man. Look at even Sterling this year suffered. Anyone that's been in attack has just not good enough. That's what I think. Anyways, it shouldn't really be a surprise. King Deuce says, "I will accept our manager's preference in certain players. I'm definitely optimistic about Ten Hag. I think he can get the tune out of anybody, but my guts are telling me 5th place finish if we don't put a killer next to Casemiro."
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength as you there as well, Deuce. It's maybe me being a little bit pessimistic. It's just I'm just trying to look at balance.
There's
That's
still
it.
time in the transfer window.
What do you mean a killer, Cass?
Like
King Deuce. What does it mean a killer?
Like a bad boy centre mid, man.
What
Like
is
you
that?
can go get your Onanas,
A
you can go
De
get your
Jong,
strikers.
a De Jong, or an Amrabat, or another Bruno, or like what kind of midfielder?
Yeah, obviously De Jong, bro. Barella.
Barella.
Come on,
Okay.
man. If we had one of those, the whole season's different. No matter if you still get your Onana, let's say you still had Mount for rotation, a striker that's capable of just burying more goals than Weghorst.
See,
And maybe
KJ thinks that Ten Hag's going to turn Mount into your De Jong.
nah, that's a false. That's copium there, man. I'll
I
be
want
honest.
what he
Let
drinks.
him cook.
I want what he drinks.
Let
Seriously.
him cook.
Yeah. And obviously, the last part with since we're on the Chelsea conversation, the Dybala, 12 million euros, interesting. We was talking about a little bit earlier. Does he fit into the system? Can he fit into a Pochettino system? Mo,
Who's that?
Dybala.
Dybala.
Absolutely. He's the best Dele Alli out there. The guy behind the forwards that scored a lot of goals. The guy behind the forwards that doesn't have a lot of defensive, duties, but scores a lot of goals, but also still holds in the midfield, gets the ball, gets a lot on the ball, supports the forward, runs into the 18. Look at what he did at Roma. He played behind Tammy Abraham all the time, being the second forward. That's Dele Alli behind Kane.
Right,
So
and then all of a sudden you're starting to see Chelsea take shape.
Yes, absolutely. But what does that do? But what does that do to Nkunku? I think Dybala plays behind Nkunku.
I don't think so because that's
All
why
of a
they.
sudden, Dybala and Nkunku could cook. You know, I think that
That's
would revive.
a lot of technicalities. That's a lot of technicalities.
That could revive. That could revive, and then Enzo behind them. That could definitely revive Sterling on the left as well.
I don't reckon he goes by Nkunku. That's why they're looking at another striker still. Dybala's nothing. That's just chump change right there. He's a 10. And Dybala's a 10 and nothing else but a 10, right? I think he swaps with Nkunku, and sometimes Nkunku can also play left or right very easily as well. You know, when I look at that right-hand side, no Ziyech, no Pulisic. They just got Madueke. I don't know if they're going to use Chukwuemeka next year. I don't know about Mudryk. I think he'll be used on the left-hand side to rotate with Sterling. So I can maybe sometimes see Nkunku going out to the right and Dybala staying, going in a 10 if they really want to, you know, use it like that. I think Nkunku's going to be, again, yeah, exactly, an emergency number 9. He's not a lone striker. Nkunku's not a lone striker. He's played as a
definitely not.
top type 2 shadow striker. Go watch it for yourself. I think it's experience. I just think it's exactly experience depth in my opinion.
Yeah,
and but would Dybala be
terrible injury prone? He's injury prone.
Yeah, I've heard that. But would he be happy to go there and be
wages wise? Yeah, probably.
He backs himself. Yes, Dybala is one of those guys that like, if I go, I'm gonna play. I know I'm gonna fight for my place. I'm gonna play, and of course, Dybala wants money as well. Like I think because he didn't get paid enough at Roma, so I think Chelsea.
Oh yeah, Juve did.
Yeah, but he didn't renew the contract with them because he knew what was coming at Juventus, and then he wanted to leave.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you say about him being being similar to Dele Alli, especially when potentially be playing under Pochettino.
It's a different to be similar to a player. It doesn't have to be the same body shape.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
What you bring to the team.
Well, I think if he does get Dybala, that goes to show Pochettino's system for next season is nailed on 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It has to be, right? Or it gives him an option to play a 4-2-3-1.
Caicedo, Enzo, Nkunku, and a number 9.
Because the thing is, you can easily play Nkunku and Enzo in front of a Caicedo. Easily. It would have made sense in hindsight. I'd rather allow... I don't really want Enzo too far at the pitch. I'd rather allow Nkunku or the number 10 Dybala to go further up and just do your business. That's the way I look at it.
We'll see if they get a striker.
Caicedo and Enzo, I'm intrigued to see how that works.
There's no striker out there for them. That's my problem with Chelsea. So you think they get Vlahovic and Dybala and Caicedo and they try to go for a goalkeeper?
And Vlahovic and Dybala, they would have played at Juventus briefly together?
They played last season together.
Yeah.
I think it would work in a different.
It would work
because they've got so much creativity in and around everywhere. That's why it would work.
And I'm telling you, that brings Sterling back into the mixer. I'm telling you, you put Vlahovic there, you put Dybala or Nkunku there. That all of a sudden brings Sterling. Sterling starts getting more space, starts being able to expose space.
It's not like he's
Chelsea just signed Lautaro Martinez already and just get him off.
Well, if they get Dybala, they definitely not get Martinez no more.
Just get Martinez.
The day I see Dybala and let's say Martinez,
what, 10 million, Mo? Martinez, 10 million.
They ever, if in hindsight, if they ever did get him and put him as number 9, and I saw Dybala behind him, I'll be like, my team is gonna bully you today. You know that. See Casemiro, that they're gonna anyone, even Diaz, Rodri.
Diaz and Vardio. Oh, good night.
Yeah, in a bit, man. That don't work whatsoever. Martinez is rubbish, man. I can't lie. He's awesome.
I don't like the guy.
Listen, I don't mind him. Him and Lukaku, all your front lot did us a favour in that Champions League final. So I ain't mad at any of them.
Yeah, and we need another little favour.
But Chelsea are doing really good, guys. How many likes are we on? Can we hit that? Can we get to the 350 likes, please?
What we on?
It's simple.
Exit your live chats. Exit your live chats, you lazy bums.
Take 2 seconds out of your live chats. Go on, you show them. And listen, people, we're asking you one last time. It will help while you sleep. It will help this show be pushed out to new viewers to see this great content. We've stayed up late. I've got work in the morning. Mo's got a beach to probably go to, and
120 where I am now. It's 120
back here tomorrow, man.
But got more stuff to do. So please, people, smash that like button. Help push this channel out to more people. And also, if you like the content, please subscribe. On the road to 12k. Every subscribe counts, and we appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, man, and I think we can actually wrap up there on the hour mark as well. There's not much else to really talk about.
Not much on City today, to be fair.
No, it's gone all quiet.
Oh, actually, congratulations to England under-21s. Won 3-0 again tonight against Israel. Through to the final, I believe now. Nothing but clean sheets. So I saw there was some slander on City's goalkeeper that we're selling to Burnley for 20 million. A tournament full of clean sheets. So anyone that's saying, City once again, Vinny and City working together to inflate prices, 20 million for an England under 21 that's kept nothing but clean sheets in a tournament. 20 million's great.
So this whole congratulations to England and stuff, just to justify the 20 million. This whole thing that you did.
Listen, we haven't spoke on City, and also salute to Cole Palmer scoring tonight as well.
Well, it's actually 12 million with 7 million in add-ons, but yeah.
Well, there we go. 19 million. Sorry, Cass.
Well, the 7 millions might not get triggered. Other than that, in a bit, wash your feet, wash your mouth, and wash your toes.
Sleep well, people.